special in 7 years, and this time he's taken on all of humanity. Please welcome back the fabulous and quite funny Ricky Gervais. So, before we get into what the special is about, the question everybody wanted me to ask you is, are you excited about the royal wedding?
You can't even say it with a straight face. Am I excited about the royal family?
Yeah.
No.
The royal wedding.
No. I'm not excited about it. Listen, I've got nothing against the royal family, but I don't like any of that sort of frivolous nonsense.
Right.
Gossip. I actually know William and Harry. They've come to about 2 or 3 of my gigs, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's on every paper all the time. My news show, it's like, oh, no, I'm not interested at all.
I wonder,
Thanks for asking.
Just on the same subject, though, when I was in England trying to do stand-up there, you can't say anything about the Queen. They have a fit, and they won't laugh. Is that true when you do it?
No, not anymore.
Not my crowd.
Well, it was then.
No. I mean, I think that, I think that BBC are still a bit stuffy because they get complaints and, they're a sort of government body, so they fear complaints, but live, no, anything, it's just, no.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and...
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because today we've got something special. Ricky Gervais is back, and this time he's not holding back. After 7 years, he's dropped his first stand-up special, and it's guaranteed to be a wild ride. Trust me, this is not your typical comedy special. Forget about the royal family, or any of that royal nonsense. Ricky's not here to waste time on frivolous topics. He's tackling the big stuff. From all the quirks of human nature to what makes us tick, this special digs deep while keeping things laugh out loud fun.
Offended, just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right, It's... offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? So you can't second-guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing. So if you're saying anything, you should polarise. You should polarise because everyone's different. So,
but this year you didn't host, and do you miss the fact that this was the Weinstein year?
Oh, I was salivating. Honestly, I got an adrenaline rush thinking of what I could say and whether I'd have to go to jail.
He's never been afraid to be politically incorrect, and this time it's no different. He's unapologetically himself, and we wouldn't want it any other way. So grab your popcorn and get ready for a masterclass in comedy. Ricky Gervais is back, and he's got a lot to say. Don't miss IT'd, is it just me, or does it look like Ricky's a little irritated here? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, let's get back to it. Ricky doesn't shy away from the tough stuff. He's all about pushing boundaries, and that includes the
tension when there's an elephant in the room, although he wasn't there this year. I do like that because I do like confronting that because I think it takes the audience to a place it hasn't been before, and it can be a mutual backslapping, fest, fine, but don't televise it, because I'm not doing it for the 200 egos in the room. I'm doing it for the 200 million people watching around who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires, and who don't
care about winning the awards.
That's right. Humanity, which we mentioned, is your first comedy special in 7 years, and you say that it's the right time for it, the subject matter. Wow.
Yeah, well, I left it for 7 years, not on purpose. I was doing other things. I did a series, I did Derek, I did a couple of movies, and I pushed it back because I always thought that stand-up was like the second or third thing I did, whereas now I've changed my mind. Now it's my favourite thing. I could give everything else up because it's such a privilege, and freedom of speech is so important these days. And you've got to, I've reached the age now where I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? It's like,
welcome aboard,
what's the worst that can happen?
Welcome aboard.
I'm going to die soon.
Doesn't mean they're right. Offense is all about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some folks might even be offended by equality, and that's something we can't ignore. In comedy, if you're trying to please everyone, you're not pleasing anyone. Comedy has to challenge taboos and dive into controversial issues. Sometimes that means using irony, and not everyone's going to get that. But hey, you can't let that stop you. If you're going to say anything that matters, you've got to polarize people. Not everyone's going to agree, and that's the point. Ricky knows the value of free speech, something many of us in the United States sometimes take for granted. We've seen how censorship has crept up, especially on social media in recent years. But honestly, compared to other countries, it's pretty mild here. That's why Ricky's approach is so refreshing. He'll confront the elephant in the room, even if it makes people uncomfortable. And let's be real, that tension? That's what makes it interesting. Confronting it takes the audience somewhere they've never been before. It's not about making the people in the room laugh. It's about reaching the millions.
You made enough money at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to give that to animals anyway, just to see the look on my stupid family's face. Leave it all to animals.
And by the way, Humanity is on Netflix. You're going to want to see it.
So. And you talk about your family.
I do. This is the most personal. Again, I think for the same reasons. You know, I think that it's nice to look back and it's a celebration. I talk about my mum and dad and who aren't with us anymore, and jokes about the mum and mum's funeral. You know, because that's what. I think that's what humour's for. It gets us over bad stuff. So it's a sin not to joke about all the bad things. That's a waste, because that's exactly what we should joke about.
I also feel that when you talk about people who have gone to the next world, whatever that is, that you're keeping them alive in a way.
Well, yeah, they exist.
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And, you know, I tell it, you know, there was a lot of truth, so I tell the truth. You know, it's not just this idealised view of your mum. You tell, you know, why. I remember when I was 12, I got older brothers and sisters, which is why I'm like I am, I suppose. I had to show off to be heard, right? And they're much older than me. They're like 11, 13 and 14 years older than me. And I remember when I was about 12, I said to my mum, why are my brothers and sisters so much older than me? And she said, you were a mistake.
And there you have it.
I just laugh.
You know,
they be laughing, but shoot.
It's true.
After waiting this long, Ricky explains why he took a break from stand-up for 7 years. It wasn't intentional. He was working on other projects like his series Derek and a couple films. But now, he's come full circle.
That's great.
You know, I mean, and people were like, really? I was like, yeah, because you gotta you have to keep talking. You know, you have to keep talking to stay present.
Absolutely, you know? Make them part of the thing, and it is with affection. You know, I just think that it's like my mum would have loved it. You know,
and they're hilarious anyway.
Well, it's funny. Funny is funny. Funny is funny. There's no time and a place for being funny. I know some things are sensitive, and you know, I think you have to respect that. And let's get this: I wouldn't be doing those jokes at someone else's mum's funeral.
I
don't mind, you know, because I know that, you know.
Yeah. So let's talk about your partner Jane, because I've met Jane. She's a lovely person. You've been with her for how many years? 35?
30 years. Yeah.
30
over
years.
30 years. Yeah.
Not married yet, though.
No.
You're never going to get married.
No.
He doesn't like any of that stuff.
There's no point.
No, there's no, you know, we don't want our families to meet, and
But you've said that the key to a happy relationship is separate bathrooms, which I totally agree with.
That's a fact. Yeah.
And why is that?
One less argument, isn't it? So it's great. It's lovely to have your space, and no, it's brilliant. Yeah.
I know. I think so too. What about separate bedrooms now?
Oh no.
Let's not get crazy, Joy.
I'm just asking.
No, you're really active on Twitter. You have 13 million followers, and you love to engage with trolls.